capacity with a full day of streams for you guys, all right? And today we have some new stuff, which is always exciting to announce new stuff on the streams, correct? First of all, I have an update that's not very good, but let me go ahead and get it out of the way. My blinds in the office broke last night. Yeah, and the thing is, the blinds that I have in this house, I bought when I first moved in. When I first moved into this home, it had some of the crappiest shades you've ever seen. You know those really cheap shades that are made of like that fake plastic material, and all you go is you pull them down. They're on like a roll. You pull them down, it goes and you have to like pull it down, and then it kind of sticks. But if you don't, it goes zoop and suck back up. Those were the shades I originally had here in the house when I moved in. They were terrible. They were in disrepair. They were breaking and falling apart. So I knew that I had to get new blinds right away for the house. So originally when I first moved in here in 2014, yes, many years ago at this point, I went right to, I think it was Home Depot. I think it was Home Depot. And I started looking at different blinds. Now, originally, I was interested in more cloth blinds. You know, the ones that you basically would pull closed. They would slide, almost like you get them in a hotel, those cloth blinds that you pull them and they slide on a track. Because I knew that would essentially be like really good for light purposes. I'd be able to make this office very dark if I wanted to. But then at the same time, you know, curtain, exactly. I wanted to draw curtains. Exactly right. That's what I was looking to get. Draw curtains for these windows. So I looked into it. Yeah. The problem is in my home, my windows in this room, the room across the hallway, and my master bedroom, essentially three bedrooms upstairs on the top floor. All these windows are custom. What I mean by that is they are not a standard size. Most windows in homes are about the same size, so that way if you were to go and buy a set of blinds, a set of shades, they're kind of common sizes, so you can just buy what you need and install it yourself. These are custom, meaning you need to know exactly the right size, and then someone has to make it form-fitted to the window, okay? So when I started looking at pricing, and I started looking at these blackout shades, they were like insanely expensive. Like I was getting quoted like $1,000. I was like, what? That's nuts. Now keep in mind, when I moved here, I already overspent. I bought too much. I spent too much on furniture. I spent too much on the move in general. I spent way too much upgrading the house, basically. Upgrading my setup, right? I had a new PC. Everything was upgraded when I first moved here 9 years ago. So I already had spent so much money, and the blinds was the last thing that I thought I was going to have to spend a lot of money on. I just didn't have the money for it. So I went more middle of the road, and rather than getting shades, I got blinds, okay? And that's what I have today. So they are plastic, but they're not crappy. They're not those thin plastic ones that bend and snap. These are thick, slats, almost like the siding on a house they kind of look like. And they were not cheap. I would say pricing-wise, they were on the higher end of the middle range pricing. So I think on each room, because there's 3 rooms, I'm pretty sure for each of these rooms I spent like $200, and I think for the master bedroom I spent around like $300 or something like that, right? So it was under $1,000, but it was still expensive, okay? And so they all got installed, and they lasted about a year, and I mean that, like they lasted about a year until all of a sudden I started having problems, okay? Basically, in the bedroom, all of a sudden, I'm trying to pull these blinds up and down, and they're getting stuck. They will not go up and down properly. Now, these are relatively new blinds, and they won't work. And there was really no solution to this. They were just messed up, and they would get stuck. What I have to do is put my hand in them, and as I'm releasing, pull down hard, and then you get them to release. I'm like, what a piece of junk. I just spent hundreds of dollars on these damn things, and they're just not that good. In addition, they don't really keep the light out that well. They are all right, but on a really sunny day outside, they really don't do a good job of keeping the light out, nor do they keep the office cool. It's funny because you would think, oh, they're thick plastic. They block all the light. They block all the heat. Not probably better than the crappy, shade that was here to begin with when I moved in, but really they're not doing that much, honestly, which is why as soon as the spring hits, I always need to have my air conditioner on in here to cool things down. And then I ended up having the the air conditioner on from all spring throughout the entire summer and even into early fall to keep it a manageable temperature in here. Okay? To make matters even worse, during those months, in the afternoon, typically we have very harsh beating sun on the front of the house, and that's where my office is. So this office naturally heats up 20 degrees in the afternoons whenever there's sun in the spring and summer. So it's like everything compounded, right? But anyway, I've been battling with those blinds in the bedroom, no exaggeration, for about 5 years. You know how when you have blinds, there's 3 cords. There's the 2 cords that will adjust the blinds to open and close, and then there's the 1 cord that pulls the blinds up and down. So the cord that pulls them up and down, I'm not even kidding you, probably 5-6 years ago, the thing that holds all the cord together snapped, and they all went loose. So now it's not even equal. It's a nightmare. Basically, the thing's a piece of junk. I couldn't believe that I spent so much money on them, thinking, oh, this is a good quality product. That's why I spent that much, and it ended up being the biggest piece of junk that I probably ever bought. They don't keep the rooms cool. They don't block the light well, and they break. So anyway, I've had these for almost 9 years now, and the one room I never had a problem with them is this room. This office, I've never had a problem with the blinds. It's always been over there, you know, in that room there, and also the bedroom, where I've always infamously had issues with the blinds. But now I'm having big issues. Okay? So here's what happened last night. I was going to do my private reacts, and I was like, man, I would like a lot of fresh air in here to do that. So I pulled the blinds all the way up. I opened the window. The only lighting I had on here was the ring light and the backlight. So it was nice lighting in here, but I had nice, cool air to do all these reacts. So I do them all, and then finally I'm like, all right, I'm done. Let me close everything up. I go to do it. Snap. I was like, what? I looked up. The actual, I don't know what it's called, the system by which, the cord makes these blinds go up and down, something broke in it. So I'm trying to get the blinds to go up and down, and it's going, like, what the fuck is that noise? Something actually just is broken inside. I don't know if it's the wheel, whatever's in there that draws the cord up and down, is completely destroyed. Out of nowhere. It wasn't like I was being excessively forceful with it. I didn't, nothing hit it. I wasn't fucking with it. It just decided to break. I was like, oh, that's great. So I'm trying to get the blinds down. I'm like, oh my God, they won't come down. So I'm sitting here like pulling and yanking while I'm trying to get this thing to work. It took me about 15 minutes just to get them all the way down. Okay? So now here's at least the good news for now. All right? The good news is they're closed. And I closed them all the way, so the light is mostly blocked. As you can see, I look pretty good. The lighting is fine. This will be fine likely through January, February, March, but as soon as it starts to get warm in here, when we hit April, May, I'm going to need to have my air conditioner installed. And the bummer about that is, if I pull these blinds all the way back up, they may break and never come back down again. In which case, what do? I can't actually film in here with the blinds up. I need the blinds down to have the right level of light to film in here. So what I'm thinking is, number one, I might have to get a whole new set of blinds for the office particularly. Like the other rooms are manageable. I can deal with it. But this room, I need them to work. This is for my job, So it's kind of annoying because I was thinking, like, how would I install the air conditioner if I can't pull up the blinds? I don't even know. Because I need to basically my air conditioner is an indoor air conditioner. You need to get the duct into the window, and there's this slat that you insert into your window that the duct goes into for the exhaust for the air conditioner. So what I need to do is tape it up with weatherproof tape, right? But to do that, the blinds are in the way. How am I going to keep them up? If I pull them up, they're stuck there forever. So I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, have on one shoulder, have the blinds like this, and then put the slat in. Because the thing is, I can get light in here right now if I want. I can just open the blinds because the other 2 cords still work. The ones that open and close the blinds, those still work fine. That's no problem. But it's the one to pull them up and down that's broken now. Of course, you could say, well, Phil, you could just buy new blinds. You're right. I could go to any Home Depot or Lowe's or another hardware style store out there, and I could see what kind of product they have. And honestly, I think the only place I would replace them is this window right here, because I don't really want to afford doing it for the whole house right now. And this time around, I do think I would go for something like maybe the blackout shades, if I could get them. The ones that would make it pitch black in here for filming. So that way, it looks really good lighting-wise, but then if I want to get light in here, I could draw the shades and get light. So that's probably what I would do. Just in general, for filming in general, it should probably be a lot better for everything, so. How on earth, what the, boy, some people are being silly. They're like, did you save the receipt? It's, dudes, I bought it in 2014. There's no warranty on this planet that's a 10-year warranty. What are you talking about? There's no way you're going to get that, you know, replaced or whatever. That's crazy. Hank says, well, if it's for your office, it's tax deductible. That is correct, Hank. If I bought blinds for this office, it would be tax deductible. I still need the money up front. I still need to have the money to buy them. And, you know, just from experience, these cost over $200 each for each room. And that was these. That's not even good ones. If I buy the blackout shades, you're probably talking way more money. So I guess we have to see. Your car's a 10-year warranty? What